But ass.
What is good, Chad? How are we doing today? Welcome to another show. Stop it. Stop everything, okay? First of all, let me know if y'all can hear me. But second of all, here's what we got to talk about because as we close into the final chapter of this entire Turtle Boy saga, okay, it only seems necessary that Abba and Preach, they come out with a detailed response on what was going on and cover a few things while closing this out. I mean, it's obvious the guy's a scammer. He's getting exposed for all these different things. It is what the hell it is. Anybody that's trying to deny that at this point right now, you're only just deluding yourself. But the one thing we got to talk about, chat, before we even get into Abba and Preach's response, is the plethora of bozos and bozettes that came out in defense of this clown. In a clear, obvious sign that he was the problem, there were still a bunch of people who were willing to basically stand in their own way while caping for a DV and alleged rapist. Like, this is insane, right? And you know what I find interesting about all this, right? Because here's the thing. These are the same men and women who will come to these spaces to try to warn men and women about toxic people like they've seen on display, right, with social media. How many times have we seen so many content where a lot of these dudes get so pissed off at the girl, right, because she's stating some kind of preference or whatever it is, and then they say, okay, this is toxic, she's doing this and whatnot, right? And then you see the opposite for the men. But when it came down to calling out these things where you have a real world example of it, it just doesn't make any sense. For instance, you have a lot of guys that are coming here. They'll watch us clown some of these pill popping bozos, all right? They'll come in for the fresh roast session or whatever the hell you want to have it, right? But the thing is, you will simultaneously cap for a guy who exhibits the same toxic traits you join us in criticizing, right? So that's the one thing that actually is the eye-opener in a lot of these things, how everybody is just switching up and going against the so-called values. It's like, what values do you guys have? Exactly what does that mean or entail? Because we've seen women cap for abusers, right? Yet they're the same one to get mad at the men for not defending them online against abusers. You have the quintessence. You have the quintessence example. You have the quintessence example of this man who clearly has all these toxic traits that will warrant men who abuse his black women in real life, who end up leading to even more violent, possibly even fatal attraction scenarios, right? And this is what we see these paces talk about all the time. But then when there's a prime example of it, in their face where they can point the finger and say, yeah, that's definitely the guy. All the stuff we've been talking about, ladies, that's him. That's him right there. When it came down to it, y'all defended that. Matter of fact, some of y'all it was just wild with this. So then it's like, what is all this bullshit y'all ladies coming up here talking about online? About men not defending you and men not doing it? Is it all just a show? Because if y'all will jump at the opportunity to support a guy who's clearly a deadbeat dad, which is something that we don't like, all right, and also who is an abuser, why are you then coming out in defense of him? It doesn't make any sense. And to the men out there who say that, oh yeah, women, this is the problem with modern women today. They're just so listen, if she just chose the good guy, I'm a good man. If she just chose the good guy, you wouldn't be in this mess. Look at that Pookie you chose, right? Listen, we're good men out here. We just want black women to respect us, but they choose the Pookies. I don't know why these black women choose Pookies. Get your passports, right? And then when you have a prime example of a Pookie, not only that is out here just destroying your image, but is out there destroying your image when it comes to dating out in other races. I'm sorry, aren't y'all, most of y'all like passport bros? So what does it look like if a bunch of dudes coming out here, black men, caping for a guy who's a clear abuser and domestically abuses women of other races, right? You even heard in his live stream with MTR where he says, oh, the last girlfriend on TikTok, I was friends with her parents. Like, we were on good terms because her parents, what she had, her initial thought about black folks or black men is that black men beat on, women. They're women, right? And then he proceeds to basically prove their parents' hunch right. And then beats on their daughters, right? So it was just crazy how y'all dudes talking about, if she just chose the good man, we chose, the men who are working 9 to 5, hard-working black men, black women be a better state today. Here they go online, all right? When you have the quintessence, the quintessential stereotype of a Pookie that's out here destroying images, not just in terms of your women, black women, but in terms of images in other races too as well, which is making it all look bad, like abusers, like basically that's what he's putting out there. Y'all are out here defending this. You're out here defending this in droves. And these are the same good men that want black women to respect them, all right, to go ahead and just submit to them. Is this the nonsense you want your women submitting to? A bunch of Pookie Defense Force clowns coming up here clowning for a guy who clearly does not deserve the merit. So again, I'm done with that. Let's go ahead and get this show, because this show, the reason why I say it's the final closeout is because Alba and Preach, they finally responded to MTR. Yeah, that's right. They responded to MTR. And the reason why they responded to MTR is because MTR essentially is hold up. Because MTR criticized them, right? Y'all remember when MTR was going hard in the paint. And now, understood, guys, MTR did come out and he learned his lesson immediately. He was done with it. Matter of fact, even that live stream served to expose a whole lot. But, I mean, MTR basically did a whole lot of glazing for this guy, okay? And when Alba and Preach were doing their videos, their obvious videos that were saying this guy, clearly his personality type is indication of someone who probably abuses women. I don't know if it was Preach that made that statement or Abba. One of those two, they looked at the way this guy was acting and moving, and they said, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he beats women. Right? That was it, right? That was the whole thing that blew this up. Now, everyone's trying to make it seem like, oh no, you guys are weird. He already proved he's not a plumber. We don't care. Matter of fact, the only thing that started this whole mess to begin with was people criticizing his attitude. That was it. That's what started everything, not because he was a plumber or anything like that. Matter of fact, the reason why people focused on the plumbing situation is because he was the one out of his own mouth that said he can pull out $100K out of the bank, which we have yet to witness. None of y'all have yet to witness this bullshit, miracle of $100K coming out of this nigga's bank account. So those were the main things. We all criticize the attitude, the indication of what his personality type may look like beneath the surface, right? Y'all are the ones who are focused on plumbing license. We were right. This guy's an abuser. And yet we're talking about plumbing license, which, by the way, what is the name of the company that got him fired or fired him? All right. How do we have all these phone calls by black women, allegedly, or women who are so pissed off about what he said in the show? Why don't we know the name of the company? 500 people call a company to get him fired, yet no one knows anything about that company. No one knows anything about anything. I mean, you guys at some point, critical thinking and common sense just has to flow in. And I get it. Some of these pill popping influencers haven't been the best in terms of steering you to the straight and narrow. That's why platforms that heavily criticize this kind of talking point and nonsense, right? It's very much needed. Okay, you can go get your binge watch of some of these pill poppers, but at least get a reality dose from some of these other platforms, because you will get sucked into this bullshit like MTR and get shit smeared over your faces. And what ended up happening with MTR is now, because you were meat glazing them and practically going at Albert and Preach, now it's their time to respond to you. And they're basically saying, MTR, hold this L. just hold this L real quick, bro, because you came at us publicly. They're not gonna hold it. We're not gonna hold you. And it's not no beef. It's no beef, because they straightened that, right? But you came at them, defended this guy, and now you got shit on your face. Hold this out. Just right there. And honestly, it's one of those things where it's deserved. It's deserved, right? The MTR learned this lesson. Absolutely. It should have learned it from Brick Lady, to be honest with you. But you know what? This is Abba Priest reserved the right to clap back. I mean, this is their final seal on this, and it is what the hell it is. And then hopefully after this, the rest of the world can move on. Oh, by the way, on his YouTube channel, has he provided any more receipts yet? I'll wait for the fanboys that are still meat glazing this clown, but or fangirls that are still meat glazing this clown. Has he provided any receipts that he's worked anywhere, or at least had a goddamn job? Because the way I see it, nigga don't want to work. That's the way I see it, and you can't change my mind on that one. Let's go ahead and get to this video.
And you press the record button and just threw it back in there.
No.
Okay. Blatantly.
Yes, she's making that up. Okay. Man, I don't know how to answer this, honestly. I don't know how to answer.
So she's not lying. There was a phone in the car.
But honestly, yes. If it sounds crazy, then man, whatever.
Why did we know in 2 minutes what it took y'all 2 to 3 weeks to figure out?
Aaron the plumber. So what happened? So we were right, and it only got worse from there. I mean, Aaron the plumber, if you don't remember, was on the balloon pop thing, and then afterwards claimed that a bunch of people called his job and got him fired. Turns out he can't prove that ever happened. Most people don't even know where he works, so they don't even know where to call to get him fired. He even claimed that there was 500 plus calls. Nobody's been able to really find his job properly. So the idea that the internet found it, it's never leaked so far. And so there's been a lot of cast on that, because he's been using that to promote his GoFundMe to get $15,000 to do humanitarian work. Truth is, he doesn't really have much of a track record doing any of that kind of stuff. So where is this all coming from? And then there was a post that came out that showed that he got mad because the GoFundMe got locked. And underneath the post, you know what it said?
What?
How they gonna hold my money? It's my birthday. Let me have a good time.
No.
Dead ass.
No.
Dead ass. He posted that. So he was gonna use the GoFundMe for his birthday. So when we saw this goofy ass asking for money, even though he got 100K in the bank.
Okay. But one thing about me, I could pull 100,000 on the bank. Can you do the same?
And he was out here spending it in the club like a goofy. Turns out, he wanted to use a GoFundMe for his birthday to be able to spend it like an idiot.
No, you're lying.
But it goes even worse, because people are like, why are you bringing up his criminal history? But that's in the past. First off, I do think it's okay to judge people on their criminal history. That doesn't mean it's a final judgment, but I definitely think it factors in, especially if it's over a lengthy period of time. It shows me a lot of impulsivity. It shows me a lot of lack of control over yourself. And it gets me things to be like big red flag. He's already
Facts. This is what most employers will look at. That's why it's hard times for felons to get hired, because once they look at you, they're looking at your background. I mean, you'd be stupid to not do any kind of background report on anybody when you hired them, especially if it's someone when it depends on your reputation to be on point, right? So you're telling me that you're going to look at a guy has this background here that clearly says, hey, I've been setting up dudes, and I've been, I've been a criminal my whole life. How about you trust me now? And then only to be surprised or shocked that it blows up in your face. Those you bozos that supported Wes Watson, right? Y'all like, I can't believe he scammed me out of $7,500. Like, how could Wes Watson do this to me? It's like, bro, are you kidding me? The guy literally went to prison for robbing people. Okay, why didn't you take that background into consideration? Like, maybe I shouldn't take financial advice from a criminal. Can we just talk about that for a second? How about it'd be a smart thing not to take financial advice or coaching or business coaching advice from a guy that got out of prison? What is it going to teach me about business? Huh? What happened to that level of common sense now? I don't know, but it just seems to just fade away amongst a bunch of young men in society, yet they want to come online and cry and talking about, oh, it's hard out here for men. Why these other men are fucking with y'all? Like, wake up. Like, this is crazy. Shout out to Dev with the 5. Dev says, Total Plumber is the kind of guy FNF will glaze and promote, then turn around and blame the woman when she gets beaten to a stretcher. Facts. But you got to understand now, it's the opposite. It's also the opposite, too, because the women that came out and defended this guy, we can't let that go easy. They got to be called out. They have to be called out because, again, the main reasons these men complain is because what is that community that Cynthia G is a part of? Y'all remember that? Y'all know that? What's that community that Cynthia G is a part of? It's a community on YouTube. They're basically the anti-black manosphere. They don't like black men either. She said that she wants to delete black boys or some shit like that. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But these women, they talk about how these men are violent. Violent is just horrible. I'm not saying all of them, right? But I'm just saying, where are they in droves to speak out against these other women saying, hey, I don't think it's so bad. I think he's innocent. You guys are just wrong. You guys are just slandering an innocent man. It's like, what? This is the guy that will hurt you in real life. This is the guy that will possibly kill you. The shit that you talk about. Why you defend this nigga? Again, you just this internet, just like this whole drama just shows you how screwed up a lot of people's minds is around the internet. It just really teaches you a whole lot of things. Just I don't know. I'm shocked about it. They're shocked about it. Even Queen of Accountability is shocked by this. All these other people are all of a sudden just shocked by it. But you got to understand, there's some real fucked up people out there. And is this the best place to find them?
Found guilty of pandering, which is pimping, in 2017. But racketeering essentially is the call. Charged with sex trafficking, all kinds of stuff. So this is, 5-6 years ago? Quick little update. Queen of Accountability, the YouTuber who did a live stream with 4 of his exes and did a deep dive research on this guy. If you watch a live stream, it's pretty intense. There's accusations of rape, stalking, beatings, harassment, and they provide a lot of receipts. They provide police reports. They provide text messages, logs, all these different things that really solidify that this guy hasn't changed at all. He's still the same career criminal that he's always been. And I know some people try to accuse these women of clout chasing, but you have to understand these women have been filing reports to the police over a year ago. How could they be clout chasing when this guy had never even done the show at the time and it was known to nobody?
Boom! Like, the more shit keeps coming out, how can you keep defending this? It's a clout chasing move now? Really? Y'all gonna be that hypocritical? Call everything a clout chase that doesn't align with your ideology? That's not how that works. It's not a clout chase, okay? These women have been legit terrified of this dude since 2 years ago. This guy's been terrorizing these women. The most recent, most craziest thing that happened to them was this year. All happened within this year. That's why on her stream, Queen of Accountability, these women, when they were speaking, they were traumatized. It just happened. Yeah, you got women coming up here defending this mess. Like, that's the shit that just makes me just like, whoa. Like, that's crazy. It just shows you with these brothers that are complaining, there's a sisterhood. There's a sisterhood, and it's against us, man. We're victims. No, there ain't no damn sisterhoods. The women's biggest enemy are other women. Ain't no sisterhood. It's just an illusion. All right. So again, all this stuff you're starting to see, and when you actually peer beneath the surface now, you're starting to see the mechanisms that fuel this gender war. All the ideologies and beliefs that these people hold so dear that when it comes to situations where they should be consistent, because they're ideologically fucked, right? They're just making these inconsistent decisions or choices to back whatever side it is. And it's making it clear to everybody else exactly what you guys are all about. And you can't hide anymore. We were right. Y'all are bozos.
There's no clout to be gained. If you guys read the message, you can see that he's trying to get her to respond to him and she's refusing. And after she doesn't respond to him for a while, what does he do? He makes a very peculiar threat. He says, I'm going to call FedEx every day and I'm going to get you fired. Isn't this the very thing that he claims was done to him? Think about how twisted that is. You victimize someone in a very peculiar manner. Then you use that peculiar manner that you victimize in to make your own victim narrative. And you want to get sympathy for it. The reason why this gets more intense is that a lot of the behaviors that he showed towards these women, he's now showing towards this YouTuber queen of accountability. What am I talking about? This guy had a pattern with all the women he dated. He would love bomb them. Within 3 to 4 weeks, he loved them.
For me, it's you talk about falling in love, but it was only a month. It sounded like 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's it.
You fall in love quick and hard, my G. Fall hard.
I do.
That's the one thing. What is the main thing these red pill poppers say is the number one red flag, right? Red pill guys even agree with this. They say when you fall in love too quickly, even some of these pill popping coaches or influencers, they give you talking points or coaching sessions against stuff like this, right? So again, when we're looking at this, it's like, okay, bro, you see a guy who basically is claiming that he met a woman and within 3 weeks, he's in love with her. Love is a serious word. You're not, bro. I don't care how much I've known you for. Like I can, I could be, caring and all that stuff like that. But unless me and you have gone the distance, it's gonna take a lot to pull that L word out of me. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit there and say I love you. Not after 3 weeks. That's insane. That's the makings of a sociopath or someone who's love bombing you and trying to ensnare you into a situation. The fact that y'all came at us for listening to this and spotting the red flags and said we were wrong just proves y'all situational awareness when it comes to avoiding dangerous situations in the real world is next to nothing. And it honestly explains why y'all come to the internet, congregate around this space, and then talk about all these different things where it went wrong, not actually seeing yourself as the actual problem. So I hope that this scenario with Turtle Boy has at least held the mirror up to a lot of you people coming to these pill popping spaces or these anti-pill popping spaces or the feminist pill popping spaces, whatever places you guys are congregating. You are the problem, okay? You didn't see this toxic bullshit, but yet you go over here coming in and complaining about the same toxic bullshit. You are the problem in your own life. So instead of coming into the red pill and looking for answers, go see a fucking therapist or, I don't know, go do some soul searching and be comfortable being by yourself.
Dude, that's my problem every time.
He needed to be around them all the time. They need to stay around him. And if he didn't get his way, the text messages went south very quickly and very aggressively. When he didn't get his way, he would call their jobs. He would harass them. He would file threats against them from a bunch of different anonymous numbers. And you could tell it too is him because the grammar's really bad in all the text messages. And there's a lot of like repeated lines that seem very consistent. And now the queen of accountability is also being called from every direction possible and having herself being doxxed essentially through this process. He pretends like he's somebody else in all these text messages, but he kind of lets it slip that it's actually him, Aaron the plumber, because he goes, I'm going to take legal action if you don't issue a formal apology. Are you going to sue on behalf of somebody else? And
Y'all remember, like y'all chat, remember when we caught his troll account midstream, right? While he was trying to respond to somebody else. Y'all remember that? He does it. He's got a bunch of troll accounts raiding people's comment section, trying to figure out what was going on. And y'all be there, oh, Duke, why don't you just have a conversation with them? The nigga's been in the chat listening the whole time and trolling. He could have clicked the link at any point in time, but didn't want to because he preferred to do this dumb shit right here. You thought they're not gonna figure that out was you? You're a dumb criminal, bro. You're going back to prison. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Hey, Aaron. You're going back to prison. You too stupid to be out here walking around free. It's only a matter of time at this point. How the fuck you gonna try to threaten another woman for exposing your dumb ass online? Why don't you just come with the receipts? That's all you have to do. If you were so right and you were getting so persecuted and all of this was so bad, just bring out the receipts proving these women wrong, proving their allegations wrong, and if the receipts are strong enough, these are makings for a lawsuit, like a serious defamation lawsuit, because they're accusing you of serious crimes, DV and rape. And the fact that, yet alone, you haven't even provided your employment documents proving the GoFundMe that you got fired, you're not, bro, this right here is something you want to focus on, because they're accusing you of serious shit. But if you're not going to provide the evidence of that, then, what's the point? Just come out the audience and tell them you lied. tell them you scammed, and you go tell them to you're gonna give them the money back. But instead, you want to go ahead and threaten people. This is what happens when they don't have anything else, right? They try to threaten you and try to get you off your game. You're a sick dude, bro.
It's so crazy to me how many random dudes online want to run and go to bat for this dude, when everything in his history and the way he acts says he's a big ass pookie. He's the exact kind of man that women, you would criticize them for dating. If a woman chose this guy and dated him and then bad things happen, you'd be like, why don't you choose better? Why did you choose a pookie? And now you're getting mad at these same ladies for picking up on the fact that he was a pookie right away and trying to stay away from his ass.
Facts. All these no, actually, that was a good point by Abba. Because what all these bozos will then do is say, oh, well, he was just standing up for himself. Yeah, these women hated him and they rejected him because he was standing up for himself. No, okay. There's one thing with standing up for yourself. It is another thing being petty and being a little sassy. All right. That wasn't standing up for yourself. That was you basically not handling the fact that, listen, your ego is so big, you can't handle that rejection. You can't even, so much so that even anything else the woman says after that, you have to go ahead and go in. You have to go ahead and snap at her. That's not what normal dudes do. And you go around here giving us a bad name because any other normal dude will just let it roll off their back. Like, it's not that serious, bro. Yeah, so what? We're confident. We're dudes. We're guys. We're confident. We don't give a shit. All right, it is what it is. But the emotional ones are the ones that do, right? So, again, we saw this, and you guys said, oh, it was just standing up for themselves. The women who you blame, if they choose a bad guy and say, oh, I got abused by this man, why'd you choose him? Why'd you choose him? You get mad at the same women for seeing those red flags and saying, nope. Y'all are inconsistent. This is what is exposed about this whole space. And this is what we've been saying, but now we're only now getting the proof of it happening and we're seeing it in real time. This is what we've been saying. Y'all are not about truth or exposing the matrix. This is the echo chamber where y'all come here and jerk each other off. That's it. Y'all circle jerkers in pill popping spaces. That's what it is. So just admit it. You're not here for fairness. You're not here to find good women. You're here to complain.
We picked up on it. I have never on this show ever looked at a man's behavior and been like, this is probably the kind of guy who beats women behind closed doors. Ever. Go look through the logs. Go find it. You won't find it. What is it about the way that he was behaving that you guys were so ready to endorse and say it's nothing wrong with it? It's actually fantastic that we all looked at and be like, no, this dude is off his kilter. And it's very likely that he'd be doing physical things to ladies behind closed door or other weird things. Where were your blind spots? And this also goes for mediocre tutorials and reviews. Where were your blind spots? Why were you not able to see what we see within 2 seconds? That's a question that you guys are going to have to ask yourselves, because while you guys are endorsing this man and giving him the A-OK and calling him some kind of war hero, behind closed door, dude was one of the worst predators. The dude admitted to stalking his ex.
Is it true that you put a smartphone in the car and you press the record button and just threw it back in there?
No.
Okay, blatantly. She's just making that up. Out of thin air.
Yes, she's making that up. Okay.
This is too easy. Chat, this is too easy. This is too easy. How did you not see this? This was too fucking easy. That was a good point. Right? Where were all of y'all blind spots at? This is what I allude to what I was mentioning earlier. Y'all come to these pill popping spaces complaining about these women, but then we say, okay, what if the problem is you? What if the problem is you not picking up on these cues, right? I think that's it. All of the situation leaves credence to what we've been saying. You guys are the problem. The fact that y'all missed this clear, obvious blind spot proves the fact you guys shouldn't be coming to this red pill spaces after a heartbreak or after issues with women until you've properly done some self-reflection and healing. Because if you're able to miss obvious red flags that real men weren't able to miss, it actually stuck out like a sore thumb. It means that the issues with women or the issues you ladies are dealing with men, it's because of you. You have blind spots. So all of y'all that still defend this Pookie, and y'all are seeing all of this now unfold, and you're starting to dive into your psyche a little bit to try to understand why you supported this mess to begin with. All right, hopefully you start to look into your own life and realize what other blind spots am I missing out on? Maybe that might pop you out of this pill popping matrix and lead you into a normal life. Who knows? But y'all got blind spots, and this shows. Shout out to M Dot with the 2. M Dot says, "Where are all the turtle tots now? They're quiet. It's just too bad. This was too bad. You can't defend any of this. They're quiet now, right? You'll find some of them every once in a while, but I'm personally thinking that's Aaron." I'm thinking that's Aaron himself. Nobody fighting for him anymore, so he got to fight for himself. All right, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cowabunga head ass. Cowabunga head ass. This nigga out here, he out here fighting, right? He out here in these comment section fight with all these troll accounts. This nigga, ain't nobody caping for him no more. It's done. People are done with this. They're like, hey, yo, bro. No matter what, it's gonna take a monumental effort to fix all of this mess. They gone. Yo, shout out to Lay with the $50 super chat. Can we get a dub in the chat for Lay? Big dub in the chat for Lay. For the 50, Lay says the women that you are referring to and asking where are they now have been sounding the alarm for years and are still, but the Black manosphere mass report their accounts and get it taken down, dox them, especially Dennis and Tommy. I've sent you proof. All right, I'll check in the Discord. Listen, Dennis, Dennis Sperling, bro, you got a big problem because you posted this guy's GoFundMe. So a lot of your audience's money is trapped in that account right now. So, and the fact that you haven't, to my knowledge, said anything about this, that's a big problem, bro. Because Dennis, we gotta have to start looking at you, bro. Are you some kind of abuser or abuser supporter? Like, you're married, bro. You got kids. Right? But you out here supporting a guy where hindsight 2020, you should have seen this coming, right? You're a family man, you got kids, right? I don't know if he has a daughter or not. We haven't looked that close into it, right? But if you do, you're telling me you saw all this behavior with Aaron's activity, and you saw nothing wrong with that, Dennis. You saw nothing wrong with that to the point you wanted to put your reputation on the line to promote his GoFundMe. Bruh, listen, I know you like Latinas, dog, but like, you a black man, right? He making you look bad. Like, all these Latina girls, what if you get divorced, right? And all these girls are watching this, and then they come out and say, you know what? I don't want to date another black dude no more because I heard black men beat their women, right? Because that's the stereotype y'all are putting out there. It's not true. Because black men don't do that shit. That's why we out here calling this bullshit out, because it's making us look bad. But that's the reputation you're putting out there, Dennis. When you're supporting someone like that and refuse to call BS for what BS is. So which one is it? Do you believe in Turtle Boy and his assaults and rape charges, or are you a clout chaser? Which one is it? Do you believe what the dude is saying and you believe he's telling the truth enough to promote him? Or were you just promoting him and taking up the cause and banner because you were a clout chaser? Which one is it, Dennis Spurlong? The Blizzard Man, all right? The Dairy Queen Blizzard Man. You had one too many Blizzard King, bro. Relax on that, all right? You got to get in the gym. But still, what are we doing, Dennis? Because there's a big problem here. Your audience's money is right over there. So it is what the fuck it is. Shout out to Lay again with the 10. Shout out to you. Alvin Preach, own Black, own BLK. This exposed because they have been using fake skits that black women look bad, that make black women look bad, even though we presented evidence that it was fake. Cheesecake Factory, Oysters. Oh, yeah, by Kevin Wesley. No, but here's the thing. That's incel porn, right? That's what I call it. It's incel porn. All of those videos you see on TikToks when they all react to TikTok accounts and whatnot, it's the little backstories and, you know, those storylines that paint the incel as someone who is wronged, right, by some woman, right? So all these stories these guys come out with saying, oh, she cheated on me, or, oh, this woman wasn't appreciative, right? They act out those skits in real life scenarios. And then these incels, they vibe with those skits because it reminds them of something they've complained about or whatever it is, or they've something they've witnessed, right? So they automatically have an affinity to it, right? They're like, oh my God, I totally understand the scenario. She didn't even like the fact that he was taking her to a Cheesecake Factory. That last Instagram woman I was dealing with, it was the same thing too. I for the first date, I said I wanted to take her to the Cheesecake Factory. She looked at me like I was crazy. I mean, I ended up going to the restaurant she wanted me to do, but I felt played afterwards. Yeah, you played yourself. Listen, I don't know why you taking a woman out to a restaurant on the first date, bro, I would much rather have you over for a home cooked meal. That's just me. Why do that? Just see what it is. Hey, listen, I got the skills. I can cook. I can whip something up. So if I'm talking to you, yeah, let's see what's up. Come over. Let's talk. Let's do things. Let's just me and you. We got some good food. You can see exactly what I'm all about. There's so many things you can accomplish with just a simple dinner date with a home cooked meal. So y'all men, it's probably a good thing to start learning how to cook, right? I don't know. Maybe it's not just this a super feminine thing. You should probably just learn how to do that, because you can save a lot of money that way eating out. And second of all, you can literally save a lot of money on dates. Real talk. If she's, and you can find out if she's into you really, because if she's not into you and she really wants to go to expensive place and you end up doing that like a sucker, well, you know, you should have done that. You should have done the test from the begin with. If she didn't want to do a home cooked meal date, whatever it is, then you just move on. It is what it is, right? I don't know what else to tell you. There's so many things that you guys can do to avoid these problems that you deal with in a real life. That it's not even funny, but yeah, you come online crying. I don't understand this. But shout out to Lay. Let me get back to the video.
Let's talk about it.
I'm trying to see how I can answer this.
I'm trying to see how I can lie.
I did. I had a phone. Man, I don't know how to answer this. Honestly, I don't know how to answer this. But no, I didn't put no smartphone. I did have another iPhone that was in her car. I have two phones. Okay,
Aaron.
No,
I got two phones, one for the hoe and one for the hoe.
Let me break it down to you. I had two phones. One phone I do plumbing with, right? The other phone is my personal phone. I did leave the phone. I'm trying to answer this without sounding like a creep. So I'm trying to choose my words carefully, you know.
I did need, like, I got two, like, you know, I got that. It's just have you ever, like, if ever, did you ever have, like, if you ever have ever, like, have ever have two phones that you phone with?
Carefully, you know, because they're gonna crucify me. So don't think nothing. But I had another phone. Okay, I did plumbing services with this phone. The location was on this phone. Now I'm in and out of her car all the time. I did know that the location was on the phone. Yeah, I always got location on both of my phones. But that's how I was finding out she was driving around too. Yeah.
So she's not lying. There was a phone in the car that tracked where she was.
The phone. That's why I was having a hard time answering this. She's trying to make it seem like I just got up.
You're trying to lie. Like, how can y'all, who are supposed to be, you know, smart men, who are supposed to spot this bullshit? I mean, because men are supposed to be smarter than women, right? We're supposed to know when someone's capping, right? Because this is the blind spots we're talking about here, right? How could you not see exactly what he just stated right there as someone who is trying to come up with a story that is away or further from the truth? Because he's telling you without telling you that he's guilty. Anybody with a freaking IQ above room temperature can look at that and say, okay, now that's an inconsistency there. Even if you're too dumb to understand what the hell he's saying, you could say, well, at first he said she was lying about it, and then he just admitted that there was a phone in the car. So which is it? Is she lying, or was the phone real? This is so easy. But then y'all said, oh, you're just lying. He already proved he's a plumber. That's not the point. He's letting you know right now he's a stalker. Like the plumber that we're already past that. This right here is more serious. He's admitting to stalking women. That's a big deal. Like you got to talk about that.
Through the phone, no, I had my tracker on. I had my GPS on there, and I remember we had an argument about me leaving the phone in there. Yes, with the GPS tracker on there. She said. Yeah, I lied. Okay, yes, okay, I lied. I lied to her. I told her I did an airdrop, left the phone in there, but I didn't. I don't even know how to do an airdrop.
But like, look at this. Look at this, chat. Like, I'm trying to understand, because we got to run this back. Because listen, this incels, or I'm sorry, the Pookie Defense Force, they're coming out here saying that we were wrong. I'm doing a replay, trying to figure out step by step where were we wrong in everything he was saying. He said she was bold-faced lying, and then in the same breath, he said, no, I lied to her because, but I did have the phone in the car. Which one is it? This is what I'm talking about, right? Like, how can you guys not see this? And honestly, here's one thing y'all should, like, it should really scare you. right? Because this was before the live stream that Queen of Accountability did, right, with those other women. He's just admitted on MTR stream that he actually stalks women, that he actually showed up to their jobs, that he actually loves bomb them by falling in love too quickly, right? So how is it so far-fetched that what these ladies were saying on her stream, how's it so far-fetched to think that that actually happened? He's giving you clues right here. Like, this is what real people, like, think about. When I hear this, and then days later, we have a stream where women are coming out saying there's certain things he did that lines up with this, I'm like, yeah, that's probably true. How could y'all not see this? So we're running back the playbook. We're trying to see where we were wrong on this because y'all were so adamant at the time. Duke, hold this L. MTR, hold this L. Abba, hold this L. Queen of Accountability, hold this L. Y'all were so adamant, right? But then we're replaying everything back. Where did we drop the ball at? Because again, we were right about his character the whole time. So when we said on the show, Pop Balloon show, that hey, the way he's going at these women, it's microcosm of something more toxic below. We weren't trying to hate on the man or anything like that. It was just the attitude we saw. It reminds us of personality types either we've had experience with or personality types that we've known, right? And for the experience part is if women have experienced situations like this with men with similar attitudes or dudes who've had friends with guys who they met on some toxic mindset, right? Because we all had that, and you got to separate yourself from that nonsense. You let them know, hey, bro, like that's weird. The shit that you're doing is weird. Even some of the stuff you're saying is weird. All right. If they don't change, you can't be their friends no more. You gotta step back and conserve your energy because that's a direct reflection of who the fuck you are.
Honestly, yes, the phone location, my location was.
Okay, I'm not gonna keep playing it. This dude lying through his teeth. This scammer, okay, this career criminal, this trafficker, that's what he's about. Let's be clear. This is the man you guys are defending. And it doesn't even end there. The dude tried to do revenge prawn against one of his exes when she wouldn't get back with him.
That's toxic.
And these are, you can look at the messages. This is not hearsay. This is the dude y'all defending. All this to say, I don't want to go through everything he's done. Obviously, he's garbage. The real thing that's interesting to me is why were these men so fast to want to champion this guy when it was so obvious to so many other people that he was a giant pookie?
This is where I went wrong, chat, from my last live stream. Yes, Duke does take accountability. All right, because I only thought these guys were defending him because those guys out there were a direct reflection of him, right? And now I'm starting to think not all of them. A good majority of them, yes, they're probably a direct reflection of this guy, right? But the rest of them, I'm starting to actually think they have serious blind spots. Like a lot of these men out there in the real world, actually, I think they actually don't get it. I don't think they get it. I don't think they see these blind spots because, again, they're so in their own heads. They think anything that happens to them is because they're because people are affecting them or people want to hurt them or things like that. But it's like, oftentimes, bro, the world is just reacting to you and what you do. Right. So you just got to think about your behavior and how you're reacting or acting on the world, because if you're acting on the world and the world is reacting to you in a way that isn't what you want, I think that's the first place you would look. Right. So that's where I was wrong at, because I incorrectly assumed a bunch of guys defending this clown were just pookies. And it's not true. I'm thinking that a lot of these guys, they just have blind spots and they just don't get it. And you can start to see why they fall into these traps, right? Whether it's traps with women getting finessed, traps in these scams like Wes Watson, Fresh and Fit, all this bullshit. You can start to understand that because the blind spots are now exposed.
Guys, what champion a man who's likely going to harm more women in the future? You want to give him access to funds to be able to attract more women, want to give him more publicity to be able to have more opportunities, not realizing you guys are essentially enabling a predator. Stalks his ladies, threatens them when they want to leave, put hands on something. Like, okay, what you want me to say? What you want me to say? It's not even about taking a victory lap. Like, it's not even just the viewers. This is the creators. Like, MTR, I like the dude, but it was plainly obvious to everybody, even the way you conducted the interviews. I'm going to be honest, you were softballing it.
Boom. Hey, listen, MTR, hold this L, because that's what we all said. You and I forgot the other channel. Kites, shout out to Kites, right? It was all softballs. It was all softballs because you guys had the opportunity. You guys could actually would have done your audience and the rest of the world a big favor if you guys were the first ones to expose this, right? Granted, MTR, he exposed himself on your stream, but he exposed himself on your stream. It wasn't you asking the tough questions, right? Because if the roles were reversed, bro, let's just be real. You'd probably, if it was a woman on the other foot, you'd probably be going in on her, right? Like, we're not going to hold you. And the men would be expecting you to do that, right? And if you went soft for even a fraction of a second, they'd be on your ass. You know what I'm saying? But this is something where you could have just been the first to say, hey, I'm washing my hands off this clown. I was asking him questions about the job. That was funny to me. And then his attitude, it was kind of funny to me. So I'm done. Too many funny things happening, right? That's what you would have done, and your reputation would have been intact. Yeah, you would have taken the short-term hit because the Pookie Defense Force would be out in droves, and they'd want to sit there and make you look like you taking an L. But long-term, your reputation stays intact. And kind of like what Flacco said, shout out to Flacco, right? Where he made the point, because he also did a video on this, so check it out when you can. But he made a point saying that where MTR went wrong, right, was making this about the plumber's license or the plumber's card and whatnot. It should have just been about what it was mainly about, the Abba and Preach criticism of this dude's character, because we were right the entire time.
When he was saying weird sus shit like this, like, to me, that's a big, huge red flag. What do you think about that?
I didn't understand the people defending it. Just if we go to the base of the video and what happened, it escalated very quickly. But the basis of the video was us watching a dating show, and if you look at the behavior on the dating show, I do not understand what you guys saw. Well, didn't see. No, he did nothing wrong. Like, what is the state of the world, or in what world do you live in that you saw nothing wrong in the interactions that you saw? Forget the rest. Forget the felon thing, the whatever. Forget all that. Just based on those interactions, you saw nothing wrong. Well, you got rejected from the ladies. That's why I see a problem that we have in society. Rejection is not inherently a bad thing. It's just a neutral thing.
It's actually a good thing sometimes.
People get rejected all the goddamn time, bro. It's not even funny, bro. You go, you talk to a person, you try to talk to them about something, they're not feeling it. You walk away, it's smooth. It is what it is, and you get the experience for next time. Like, the rejection, it should only bother you, like, this is what I mean, bro. Like, high school, middle school has not been good to a lot of people, and the internet is not helping. Because I remember, bro, growing up, like, we were all forced to do this shit, right? You want a girl, you go get her number, and back then you got to write it down. It's not, we didn't have to, I didn't get a cell phone until I was freaking in college, my first year of college. But till then, you got to get the number, you got to write it down. You got to write the number down. That you got to have skills for that. Right. So again, like, people didn't learn in middle school to get shut down. If she didn't want your number, you got shut down, and your boys will clown you too, because you got to get that work from your boys. But that's how you grow, because then you learn valuable skills like how to clown people, right? And then you take that with you to high school, and y'all clowning people at the lunch table. I don't know, right? But your rejection should have been something that it should be a part of a childhood growth, right? Childhood development. And I'm starting to think now that all the safe spaces and all these safety stuff and all this, you shouldn't feel this way type shit, it's getting to a lot of young men. Y'all not knowing what it's like to get out there and fall on your knees, right? And fall down and get dirt on your face, and then get back up, dust it off, and keep running, right? Maybe not with a smile on your face, but with a focused look of determination to accomplish whatever it is you want to set out to. It's really not that hard. That's why a lot of you men out there, when you come to this pill popping space first, after a hurdle or after you fall flat on your face, you're wrong. The first thing you should do is get back up, dust yourself off as best as you can. You can even take the time, figure out what went wrong, and then keep it pushing. Because these guys online, I'm almost guaranteeing you they haven't figured it out yet. Almost none of them have figured it out. Case in point, Aaron. Okay, he hasn't gotten it figured out yet, but yet y'all were almost willing to elevate him to a position of leadership. Make it make sense. It shows y'all that y'all mentality right now is not lined up to to even recognize what a real leader looks like. And that's a dangerous situation because y'all are men. Y'all are men. Like this is what's scary about it. So again, it is what the fuck it is. Shout out to Dev for the 2. Dev says, don't forget the stalking was after a month. Facts. Like just think about this. This is all weird. This is something like y'all men, we got to get good at seeing this stuff. Right? Because if it's going to be a tough world out there, strong men, we got to get stronger because we're the only ones that can bring this shit back to where it is. These weak men are bringing us down. I can't have my image be tarnished, or I can't be a guy who can share similar skin color or similar physiques to Aaron and have me get pulled down into the same reputation that he's building out for himself. Black men, we can't do this. This is all about building that media we talked about, and it starts with correcting our image. You guys got to come out and admit your L's for this. This was just a bad look all around.
Take it as disrespect. When you say, oh, he got rejected by the ladies, you automatically go to disrespect. No, the girls just said no because this and that and that. Well, you know what? If you feel that way, that's how you feel. Moving on. He felt some type of way. And I'm still standing on mine when he said, you definitely made me. That was off right from the jump. And then you accumulate the rest of the things. At the basis of what we saw, you saw that and you saw nothing wrong. I'm sorry to say that's a red flag on you.
Yeah. Honestly, he's preached got a point too. If you saw this man's entire behavior and said, nope, there's nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, we're not even going to focus on that. Let's just focus on the plumbing license. And is he a plumber or not? Well, okay, a plumber with that kind of character, what kind of plumber do you exactly think he's going to be out there? An honest one? Someone who's going to be fair to the customers or is going to, accept the rejection from a customer, when they don't want their services? Is he going to just go in and cut their pipes too? Because, hey, that's what you get for rejecting me. These things matter, bruh. It does. So when y'all just focusing on one thing, but you're not pulling a picture together, that is a definition of having a blind spot. Right? So you say, no, I don't have a blind spot. You got a blind spot, bro. Just take this L. It's just ego right here. Shout out to Tony with the 5. Tony says, sup, dude? QB did a debate with Steve Lucario in 1950s in Kazakh 2. Can you react to it? And it exposes a lot about these dating coaches. Who's QB? What is that? I know Steven. Are you talking about that passport, dude? Has he stopped drinking? Has he figured out the drinking problem yet? I didn't think he would get far. QB passport. He's out here debating with Lucario. Well, look at that. I'm glad he solved the alcohol problem. How's he doing? Right? I hope he's doing well. I was really worried about that dude. I actually thought he was insanely stupid. Y'all see, we have videos on this channel with that guy. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? Like something's up with him. But I'm glad he's at least sane enough to do that. Shout out. I was gonna say, who's QB? We haven't talked about that guy in a long time too. A very long time. Jeez, I'm talking years, chat. So yeah, I'm glad he's doing well, and hopefully, how's that? Is he doing that passport bullshit? That's the passport bro guy right there. So y'all can understand that. Shout out to Yardley Moist with the $20 super chat. Let's get a W for Yardley. It says new sub here. Oh, shout out to you. It says great channel. By the way, I agree. Can we get a W and welcome them to the family, please? Aaron should have never reacted that way. Just keep moving. No need to argue back and forth. He shouldn't have been. He could have gotten more balloons. Facts. If he kept his mouth shut. But dude is a scammer, so F him. Yeah, like literally. I mean. It's a sob story. He got shot in the face and all this other weird stuff happened to him. But honestly, dude, we saw another example of Rhino. Rhino went on there. He got rejected. Even though he blew the bag, he blew it, right? He got rejected, and you saw how he handled it. He was just smooth with it. He went the longest without even getting a balloon pop. So much so he controlled the situation because he didn't take personally what the women were saying about him. And when he was saying things to the women that he didn't like, he was able to tailor it. He was able to tailor it, right? Some of y'all, oh, well, that's weakness, Duke, because you got to be yourself. All right, you got to be 100%. Tell the bitch what's up, right? That doesn't get you far. The interaction in the real world, you're not running around saying all these crazy things and being raw with people, because it's a one-way ticket to getting people to either get down on your ass or straight out set you up. That's not a good thing you want to do. Real world, you got to politic. That's it. You got to politic. Even how you say things, phrase things, and do certain things to get an intended result. You got to politic. This 100% got to be realness. We got to be myself. No matter what, that doesn't get you anywhere. But prison or you being by yourself. So what is it, right? Are you going to politic to earn things, or are you just going to be by yourself and be honest? And that's fine. Most people are cool with that. But again, for those of y'all who are coming here complaining that you want women to respect you and whatnot, this is what it takes. You got to see that stuff. So if you want as much balloons as possible, instead of saying, oh, you bitch, you fat. You a fat hoe. Yeah, you can just say, hey, listen, I don't think there's a physical connection there. That's simple. That's so simple, right? I don't see a physical connection. I'm sorry. You're gorgeous. I don't see a physical connection. And then move on. That could mean anything. Right? Because the women do it to us. Just flip it on them. Why are we crying about women? Honestly, chat, this shouldn't be something we should be crying about. This is too easy.
If you saw nothing wrong with the interaction that you saw there and you thought it was perfectly normal, there's something wrong with you. Forget the rest. Forget the baby mamas, the dramas, the running from the police, the going inside. Forget all that. If just based on the whole interaction that you saw nothing, you're like, yep, then there's something wrong with you too. I'm going on you guys.
Yep.
You guys got problems and you got to search within. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you, but you got problems. You're not supposed to talk with people like that.
I don't even think they think that's normal. I think most of them essentially just resent a lot of the, perceived privileges that women have. And so when they see this, they see some sense of justice. And so they're going to champion it, even if it is wrong.
But that's incel porn. That's what this is, right? You're seeing something online and getting some weird sense of justice for it because you felt like you didn't get that in your real life. That's incel porn. That's a weird shit that y'all like on YouTube. That's weird. Y'all need to start revisiting that kind of attitude. And y'all, chat, put a one if you remember me saying this. I said this a long time ago. I was calling out this TikTok reaction videos where all these guys were reacting to TikTok because I was like, hey, this is what the manosphere has become now. All y'all just reacting to TikTok and getting mad over nothing, right? Y'all getting exposed because y'all reacting to scenarios that are they're not even real. They're just made up, right? And look what the end result has come to. You fed these incels enough incel juice, and now all of a sudden they're looking for justice. They're running around thinking they're incel Batman. Running around thinking, oh yeah, we gonna have to put the cape on because Aaron needs our help. Nigga, he don't need your help. Those women he's abusing need your help. Your reputation that he's tarnishing needs your help. If you guys want to date Latinas, you want to date women who are outside of your race, then make sure that you're not supporting a guy who's putting out an image that makes women think who are outside of our race that black men beat their women. Because that's not certainly what we do. Like I'm so confused how y'all could be for this. I don't understand, bro. You want a better image out there, but support Pookies. This isn't consistent. Y'all getting exposed. Every single one of y'all that's ever commented, oh, you're wrong. Take this L. We got to focus on a plumbing license. You're a clown. Hold this L. It's yours. Keep it. And then just realize that that's a representation of the blind spots you have in the real world. So next time you're dealing with that guy and he's being all toxic to you, you can just pause before it gets any deeper, end the situation and move on. Or you're dealing with that girl, vice versa. End the situation, walk away with your power. Other than that, you a Pookie lover. That's all we're seeing right now. Shout out to Trending with Shares with the 5. Trending says Kites was capping for 120,000 views on this situation. Now they won't come out and say nothing like nothing ever happened. Shaking my head. Views equals no morals. Yeah. No. You're seeing exactly what it was all about. They didn't care about that nigga either. That's honestly what it is now. Like they don't care about him because if Kites and them cared, if they actually cared about his situation, like, and they let Aaron to believe, right? They would come out and say, "Yo, Aaron, we love you, we care about you, but now these other situations are coming out. We invite you to another interview to hopefully clear this up. But if not, we're gonna have to make sure that hey, you're getting the help you need, but we're recusing ourselves from this situation." They didn't do any of that. They're trying to move on like it didn't happen. They don't care about that nigga. It was been about the views the whole time, and he was a useful sucker. Okay, and guess what? The rest of the fan base, they're gonna go back to doing what they were doing. Everybody's they're gonna forget about this guy. It is what it is. The legend of Turtle Man, okay, the infamous Turtle Man is done. It's over with, okay, and everyone's gonna go away like it didn't happen, and that's Kites, all right. But it is what it is. Aaron. I don't think you're gonna get much opportunities, but let this be a lesson to you. Okay, just be careful when you go on these interviews. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. And if you actually have a lawyer, maybe take that counsel before you go ahead and jump on platforms after an accusation when you're not ready to defend yourself properly. Because sometimes a lot of these platforms may come off genuine, but you're just a useful idiot. Thanks for providing content, but these guys who are caping for you, they're gonna forget you. It's just how that shit works. And honestly, bro, you deserve it. All of this shit because you are a real scumbag. You're a real scumbag. So I hope these bozos come to their lesson. They forget who the fuck you are. They move on with their life and hopefully check their blind spots in the real world. But I don't think they would. It's over for Aaron. He's done. You can't get out of this. All right. The next step is figuring out where he lives so he can pay child support.
But essentially what they're championing is more of the same bad behavior that they're seeing on the opposite sex at times. And so they're just propagating the problem. You know, it's not progress that they're doing. It's just they want their get back. They want their sense of revenge, right? That they what is the word? What happens when you're experiencing something through someone else? Do you know the word for that? Oh, vicariously. That's the word. They're vicariously through these people on these shows getting the justice that they don't have, they feel like in their own personal life, or they see that's lacking in the world. That's essentially what it is. So that's why these kind of videos of like dudes putting women in their place is so exciting for these guys, and they love it and they get really excited, like, fuck yeah.
It's incel porn.
Is because they feel a sense of injustice and so they champion it. But in reality, you're not making the world a better place. Essentially, all you're really doing is just propagating more bad behavior, even if it means championing a sex trafficker and a felon and a dude who does stalking and all these other bad behaviors. Like, you're going to champion this right now, but I promise you, you're going to stop championing it when it's one of the women in your lives, when it's your sister, your mother, your one of your exes, your daughter, whatever. You're going to wish that you had done more to stop dudes like this from being everywhere and stop encouraging them.
Facts. I mean, a lot of these guys, they will understand until it happens to them. Like, when we speak, they're looking at us like, oh, dude, you're just simping and women don't deserve that or whatnot. No, we're thinking about guys who have mothers, who have aunties, who have sisters, who have daughters. We're thinking about them who are women that we want the best for them. Maybe you guys are fucked up in the head. You don't care about the women in your family, but a lot of men out there in the real world, they will die for the women in their family. Fuck what the fuck are you talking about in these pill popping spaces, because it's not real. That shit don't happen here. I'm seeing all this stuff, y'all beating on your sisters when y'all growing up. That's a weird thing to us, people who were raised normally single parent households or not. You raised with respect. You're a stronger guy. I mean, the guy he's out here choking women. What is he, like 180, 185 pounds, right, bro? I'm 200 pounds, bro. Like, you kidding me, dude? Like, you got to know how strong you are. You beating on a woman. Yeah, we know they're weaker than you. As the strength is not the same. Why are we sitting there fighting them for? That's stupid, bro. So if you want the best for women in your family, like your daughters, you want the best for your sisters, your cousins who are women, your nephews, your nieces, or not nephews, your nieces, all right, your aunties, people who you see growing up and you revered, right? Your grandmas. A lot of y'all hating your grandmas now. They were women too once. You have certain respect for your grandma. She was a woman. So when you see this nonsense, do you want one of these trolls running up here talking to your mama like that, your grandmother like that? That's crazy. Most of y'all used to get mad at the lunch table when somebody said your mama and your bald-headed granny. Y'all get mad. Y'all be ready to throw hands. Talking about my granny, huh? She ain't bald. Y'all will be ready. But fast forward 2024, men would rather just, hey, my granny a hoe too. Like, that's insane. Like, y'all got no fucking respect. You're like, no. That's what it is. So they see this incel porn, and they just gravitate to it because they're not thinking about their side? What if it happened to someone they care about? And when we talk about it, I'm sorry, I don't know how you weirdos think online, but real men, we consider all options and avenues, not just what personally affects our fifis. Because unlike y'all sitting there crying, oh, we're stoic and we're masculine. Yes, sir. No, the real stoic masculine dude's not worried about this shit that y'all worried about. Just shows how much weaker men have gotten today, and they congregate in the spaces thinking they're strong. Strong for what? Supporting the guy that beats on women? Y'all really exposed yourself this time, bro. Like honestly, I'm like you can laugh about it. We're laughing about it, but this is the future, bro. Like on some level, I'm just kind of disgusted, low key. I don't know. I'm not gonna hold you, chat. Shout out to you with Jenna with the 50. Jenna says, they were so desperate for a poster child of black women misandry that they went full steam ahead with someone that was actually a predator instead of a victim. Such a shame. Yeah, for real. It's this gender war shit. Y'all need to stop this. It's killing y'all. It really is. This gender war is. I hope we can figure out how to stop this. Okay, maybe we've realized that we got some inconsistency here in our ideologies. Maybe we got to check that, right? Maybe. If we really want the world to change, instead of just calling out the feminist behavior, we should also check our shit too, because otherwise we're no different from our enemies, right? And then people can't tell you guys apart. They'll think, oh, well, how you calling them out, but then y'all caping for traffickers. Andrew Tate. Right? how y'all gonna cope for them? And y'all over here supporting all these other dudes who are rejects and degenerates of society. Some of these guys who like Zerka, y'all cape for, you put him in jail put him in prison right now. He's gonna get his comeuppance for what he got caught doing on camera to 15-year-olds. Like y'all will still support that. Like, I don't understand what 2024 has become for men, but y'all are some weirdos, bro. And I'm glad, like, at least most men are coming out here and standing up for this bullshit. But for y'all that supported this mess, this is a massive L. And I think the best thing you can do is just come forward and say, yo, maybe I was more focused on the plumbers thing, but I don't vibe with the whole other nonsense. I don't like when other people disrespect my image as a black man. And I date Latinas and I date all these other races. So I hate for someone like that to make it seem like I'm some kind of woman beater, even though like my image and what I've done in my personal life has been entirely respectful. Think about it, because this is the type of shit people are watching and they're seeing. And they'll say they're making stereotypes based off of. You can't whine about media and how we're being portrayed and then support the very same thing that makes us look evil. That's insane to me. All right. Shout out to Micah with the 5. Micah says, the problem with rejection today is the disrespect / posting it on social media, regardless of age group. Rejection ain't worth what it used to be, sadly. Facts, but what kind of women are you dealing with where they're all of a sudden taking a rejection and posting it on social media, right? Are you, girls I talk to in the real world, like, I get rejected from, I'm not going on Facebook and seeing my face on there at a grocery store talking to some chick and took a massive L. That's not what they're doing, bro. Like, again, some of these places these guys are looking, it's not in the right spots. Maybe you're dating on Instagram. Maybe you're trying to do on Tinder or something like that. And at least she did you a favor as long as you didn't do anything too crazy. But oftentimes, those guys that get posted getting rejected, they do the most simp shit. Right? They do the most simp shit, whether they're either proving in some way, form, or manner that they're desperate or thirsty for that woman's attention. If she ghosts you, I'm not texting her 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, figuring out what's up with her and whatnot. She got her life living. I'm gonna do my thing. But when you sitting there, if she ghosts you and you sitting there tagged, oh baby, what's up? How you doing? What's up? How we doing? How can we do this? Like she's looking at those screenshots and saying, "Damn, this nigga thirsty as a motherfucker." You think that's gonna, bro? You are a man. You should have things going on, shouldn't you? So if she's not responding back to you, okay, go live your life and do your thing, right? If it comes around, great. If it doesn't, you're doing your own thing. You're living your life. But most men, when they get posted, is because they do some overly aggressive shit when they get rejection or they feel some kind of rejection from a woman, whether she doesn't respond or anything like that. You can't do that. You have to be more of a man than that, bro. There are lots of things out there to life than just waiting on a text back or asking a girl, you want to go out with me, and she doesn't want to do anything. Like, that's not, there's more to life than that. You feel me? So again, the guys that often get posted online and get exposed, they do extra shit. The guys who just leave it alone and walk away with their power, what can you say? what else can you say? You can't do anything else, right? You can't harm the man because he walked away with his power. You can't expose the man because he walked away with his power. He has his power. Again, y'all egos just couldn't handle the fact that she said no to you. But this is where y'all got to examine, who the fuck are you? You're just a guy, bro. Move the fuck on. That's just it. I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe most men aren't ready for what I'm saying right now, because it's just too harsh and it's not softening up the men or massaging their egos. I don't know. But this shit is just how I grew up. Like, I'm not worried about this dumb shit. Like, this is weird. Why we congregating crying about women? Why? It don't make any sense, bro. They're women. Like, let's move on. Like, Mike Cashapp for the 2 says, no excusing the behavior, just a difference today. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, bro. And again, people grew up differently. I get it, right? But listen, I grew up mostly with my mom, and she let me know what was going on. She let me know the details. She didn't know exactly what was up, bro. And I just move on. That was it. Like, you just grow. You just live life. We're not worried about this. We're dudes, bro. Like, why are we sitting here worried about women? That's weird, bro.
Because all you're doing is helping other ladies be victimized. That's essentially what it is. But you may not even care about that because maybe you feel so much resentment. You're like, they probably deserve it.
My girl, my sister could never bring someone like that. I mean, not me thinking, oh no, I don't see nothing wrong. Hell no.
Why am I defending these pieces of shit?
And when you have evidence, you stay defending them.
And they want to say women are not logical.
You really want to,
but you recognize a lot of these dudes is also bitch made. They're also emotional.
Listen. I was right, but it's not just that. The thing is, we make emotional decisions, but we justify it with logic. We're human beings. We're all emotional, bro. So that's why this whole stoic nonsense talk, it's cap. Y'all are just emotional as the women, right? A lot of us are emotional. If it wasn't the case, it'd be hard to sell things. Right, it'd be hard to be a salesman because everyone would just be logical at all times, men and women. But it's often not the case. When you're selling cars, guess who are coming in? Oh, you think the man, bro? You could sell all you got to do is sell to people's desires, and then bing, bada, boom, their emotions take over. They're not worried about a $700 truck payment. They're not thinking about that at all. They're thinking, how am I going to look in this car? How my neighbor is going to see me in this, or not car, truck? How my neighbor's going to see me rolling up in this? They're thinking about how that's all emotional. They're not thinking about the logical decisions like the $700+ car payment or truck payment. They're not thinking about the interest rates they're looking at it. They're not looking about how depreciation is going to be when they drive that bitch off the lot. They're not thinking about the down payment. They're not thinking about any of those logical decisions. They're thinking about the emotional things. That, again, when it comes to women, men, we're the exact same way. We think about all this, oh, she's beautiful, and, yeah, the toxic stuff is there, but we just go ignore it because she got that fat ass, though. Like, we do this. We do this, right? That's all emotional shit. And we try to justify it with some form of logic, but it's not true. We lie to ourselves on a daily basis. Oh, listen, I know y'all don't like the Matrix, but let me just red pill y'all a little bit, okay? Y'all lie to yourselves every day. Every single day you motherfuckers wake up, you're lying to yourselves. We do this shit. We're fucking emotional. And once you start understanding that, trust me, bro, I had to go through this too. Bro, when you start understanding that, you cut out a lot more bullshit in life than you realize. And you start to also understand that you're also responsible for a lot of the bullshit you go through in life more than you realize. Bro, like, life is so crazy when you realize this shit. I'm not holding y'all. Like, if there's anything you could take from this platform, my platform, just take that little message and run with it, bro.
Emotionally tied to this situation. Yeah. So I don't want to hear no more about women or the emotional sex. From the vast majority of behavior I've seen online, men are hyper emotional with vast majority of the things that they support, and it's not logical why they do it.
Everybody's emotional just for different things.
Yep. Yeah. It's like when Myron be screaming
again.
Hold up, I got you. Hold up, I got you right here.
Again.
It's not anger, it's passion. Man, shut the fuck up. Y'all some goofies. Y'all support some goofies.
Yo, shout out to Abba, bro. He's right. That's some goofy shit. Y'all make excuses for one, but you shame the other. You gotta be consistent. If you guys are serious about keeping this gender war going, first of all, we still gonna clown you, so expect that. But second of all, just expect to be consistent because people are watching for your inconsistencies, and that's what y'all getting called out on. If you don't like the way the shoe fits, stop wearing it, right? Because you ultimately you're the cause of the problem. Shout out to Dev with the 5. Dev says facts. We're not skipping over when Donnie Boy called his own mother a hoe. Yeah, that was shocking to me, right? It just shows me that you got no respect for nothing, bro. You hate women that much, bro? You gonna call your mother a hoe? Like, yeah, like sure, people's doing crazy things sometimes, but that's your mother, bro. She gave you life. You don't call her a hoe. That's insane. Not just listen. You can harbor your thoughts. I'm not saying that we all haven't had bad thoughts about family members where it's like, oh, we've been angry and oh, I wish I'd punch that guy or something like. Sometimes like with my siblings, my brothers, me and my brother would be scrapping sometimes. Like I even fought like a couple times, but my older brother we fight, my younger brother we fight. It's just brothers, right? But one thing we knew for a fact is we protected our sister because we understood what that meant. But like again, it's just one of those things where when you look at that, you keep family with family, right? Even though no matter what thoughts I'll have about my brother, right? No matter what thoughts he has against me, yeah, we can air it out, you can box it out, but we're not going on social media and just doing all this reckless shit. It's just weird, bro. That's weird. Like going on social media and saying your mother was a whore, for what kind of red pill truth is that? Like, what are you trying? You think these men who are looking at you at your story are gonna respect you for that? Oh yeah, congratulations. He called his own mother a whore. Bro, you're a clown. You make yourself look even more of a dopey idiot than I thought. And disloyal, too. Disloyal. Bro, you can't even loyal to your own mother. Like, bro, I'm not saying all mothers were great, bro, but I'm just saying if you can't show some level of loyalty, bro, that's how you know you always stab somebody in the back. You got no principles. I can't respect that. I'm sorry. Maybe, listen, I think differently. So don't listen to how I think. This is just how I think. So some of y'all are different people. Think how you want to think. But if I'm listening to some dude and he right off the bat called his mother a whore, I don't give a fuck what that guy says. I don't care. He's a clown to me. He's a clown to me and a disloyal snake at best. That's it, right? I don't want that dude around me because now if you out there call your own mother a whore, nigga, what are you gonna say about anybody else? And it shows, right? So it is what the fuck it is. It's just weird. I can't understand what these pill poppers are doing. Shout out to Silent Shadow with the 2 says at Don Age, black women are the best coming from a man. Cope. When did I say black women are the best? When did I say that? Are you talking about me or is there somebody in the chat named Don? I didn't say that. Like, did you not just see me trying to hold women accountable, black women accountable that was supporting this nigga at the start of my show? Did you see that? Or did you conveniently ignore all of that and just saw the fact that I'm criticizing y'all dumbasses for donating to Aaron? And you say, oh, you just love black women. Bro, what? What? You're stupid. You're not seeing the bigger picture. You got blind spots, bro. But thank you for the $2 super chat. I don't know why you super chatting me saying this nonsense. I mean, at least if it make it worth my time, dog. Arnaud Batia with the 2 shot to you says Turtle Plumber makes Mario and Luigi look bad. Yeah, bro. He making every toad look horrible in this scenario right now. Every toad looking bad, just taking massive L's. That's crazy, right? But again, listen, chat. Somebody said, "Oh, there's a guy named Don in the chat." All right, shout out to Silent Shadow. Okay, that's what I said initially. I'm like, I don't know if he's talking to me or the person named Don in the chat because I'm like, I don't know why you again. Because here's the thing: people would make it seem it's like about you caping for women. Not, it's not. It's just common sense. Like most men think the way I do. It's the niggas on the internet that are toxic that are supporting these guys, right? Because most men that think the way I do, we're talking about it. Otherwise, y'all wouldn't be here. Some of y'all. Right, so y'all know that. So, yeah, I know for a fact that's not what that means, right? But shout out to you, Silent Shadow. I'm glad we cleared it up. I don't know. Again, we're not coping for anything. You got to call out what it is, whether it's a man doing it, whether it's a woman doing it. It doesn't fucking matter. You call it out. Otherwise, whatever cause you claim to be standing up for, it don't mean shit because you're inconsistent. This should be common sense. Like, how do y'all not get this but expect to be leaders? This should be intrinsic knowledge to you, bro. Like, okay, I should probably try to be as consistent as possible, throughout my whole journey to, fighting for equality for men. I don't know. Maybe we need to try that. If not, people are going to be looking at y'all like clowns, and the red pill popping spaces will forever become the laughing stock of just the rest of the world, the internet world. I mean, if you want to leave it that way. But chat, that's what I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this whole entire thing. I mean, I'm glad we're finally at the end of this stupid saga. It's done. What do you think? Did MTR deserve that criticism that Abba and Preach gave him about his comments regarding Turtle Boy? Or do you think that Abba and Preach, this is just another scenario of them basically trying to reignite or start some shit with MTR? Y'all let me know in the chat or comment section. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Again!